up in store for us today. We have Jose Martinez versus Ray Robson. A brilliant match, that one. And then Leinier Dominguez, a former Blitz world champion, against the quickest chess player around, surely, Andrew Tang.
Yeah, he's nicknamed the God of Speed. Let's take a look at the first matchup. That's between Jose Martinez and Ray Robson. Now, this really is a clash of the youngsters. We can see Jose is 24 years old, Ray Robson 28. Now, they've only met once, and in that game, Ray Robson was victorious, but it was a 120 move victory. So we're going to see this one is too close to call.
And I think we should take a little deep dive into the players now so we get to know a little bit more about them. First up, we have Jose Martinez. And Jose Martinez is only 24 years old. He's from Peru. He was a grandmaster at the age of 19, and he's got a tremendous blitz rating of 27-12. He's done brilliantly in his career so far, being world under-18 champion, and he does extremely well in online events.
Yeah, absolutely. He is a blitz phenomenon. But his opponent over the board today is going to be none other than Ray Robson, who is in the form of his life. He's a member of the USA team. And take a look at this. He has been 3 years the unbeaten king of puzzle battle, which means he is sharp. And did you know, fun fact, he plays tennis in his spare time.
Well, good for him. You've got to try and keep fit when you're playing all these chess moves. And we can see the countdown is now on. So in 55 seconds, these two will face off. It's going to be quick, as we know. It's going to be fast. And I think this is going to be a very, very even match, Ivanka.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I cannot tell these two apart. I mean, their styles, they're so edgy. Ray Robson, he's so well prepared. Jose Martinez is a bit more of a natural player. I mean, incredibly strong players. And as the clock ticks down to less than 30 seconds to the start of play, we get to see the players just getting ready for the action to begin. And you can see them full focus mode.
Yeah, they're both there in our beautiful studio over in Berlin here, and you can see they're in proper focus mode at the moment. This seems to be quite a common idea to get ready, stretching that neck, a bit like Bruce Lee.
Hello. Welcome everyone to this live stream where we are going to watch some blitz chess Armageddon between Ray Robson and Jose Martinez. The game starts off with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. And then, what's the opening that they have gone for? Let's have a look at it. It's the rookie one. This is the line that Sam Shankland played yesterday, but it's slightly different than that. It's a very solid line. Let's go a little bit smaller here so that we can follow the game. Hello, Aradhya Das, Beloglavi, good to see you guys. Knight e5, he brings out his knight to c3, and now Ray Robson puts his knight back on e8. The pawn goes to c6, the knight comes back. And this is a very solid opening. If you look at it, there's only one open file. Bishop e7, c4 played. I think the DGT board is not updated yet. Plays his knight to c7 and the other pawn comes up to d4. This is one of my favorite angles actually. Although when I spoke with Amruta, she said it's not so great. What is your thought, guys? Do you like this angle? Hello, Raval Kumar Singh, Anurag Dave. Welcome everyone. Just let's enjoy a bit of blitz and Armageddon chess if we reach there. Knight takes d5. This looks very equalish, but maybe if he can get rook e5 and d5. Arjun Iyer says this angle is great. queen to d6. So now you can't really push d5. Goes bishop c4 first. Makes sense. Because now with bishop c4, you have, if you see, this is the position right now on the board. And he plays his bishop to d7. Queen to c3, rook a e8. Well, I think the position is around even, but things can go either way when you have just 2.5 minutes. Hello, Samuel Ter Sahakyan. That's good to see you here. Samuel is a very strong GM from Armenia. And now a3 played. Actually, the main problem that black faces is that although he has a better structure and white has an isolated pawn, it's not so easy to break free. White has more space. He might plan to play b4. He'll bring his other rook to e1. Hemant says, hey Samuel, congrats on reaching 2700. Wow. Samuel, did you cross 2700? That's a huge achievement. It's a huge congratulations. He takes, oh, but now that improves the structure for white. So after d takes e5, queen e7 played. I think white has a very nice edge here. Maybe rook d1 is a good idea to plonk the rook on d6. Samuel says, I just finished my game in European Championship. That's good to know. Not yet crossed 2700, but I'm sure very soon. 2616 is Samuel's live rating, but I'm sure very soon he will get back to close to 2700. F4 played here by Jose Martinez. I think that white can press a bit because he has the open d file, also the king side majority. You can see the heart rate right now is 128 for Ray Robson, 100 for Jose Martinez. F6 played by Ray Robson. But now just rook d6. Maybe just queen f5. Yeah, you don't really care. So rook d6. Aradhya says, when do we reach Super GM? 2700, Aradhya. He plays queen e3, pawn takes. But now black looks very solid. I think just rook e8. Rook e8, forcing rook e1. I doubt that this is going to go anywhere. Most likely this should end in a draw. He goes a6. He defends first the a7 pawn, which is important because that could have been hanging in some of the lines. So a6 played. And now what should black do? What should white do? Rook d6 looks very natural, but then queen moves to f5. He goes rook e1. That's kind of passive. Rook e8, king h2, rook e7. Queen d4. And now rook d7. Okay, you just move the queen away. Maybe queen f4. He plays queen to c3. He brings his queen back. Maybe if white is trying a bit here, very slowly. a4, king g8, a5. Now fixing the queen side pawns, playing b4. Ray Robson also has less time. Only 18 seconds. But how should white create something? Because there's nothing much here. Queen e3. Yeah, not at all easy to create something. But I like how white is trying. Very, very likely that they will agree to a draw. And then Ray Robson will have the white pieces in the next game, which could be the deciding game. You can see Ray Robson's heartbeat at 150 beats per minute. He's a bit stressed out with his only 20 seconds left. Jose Martinez is close to 120. Ray needs a king walk. Supriya says, no, I don't think the king is coming out. Indians will take part in this tournament later on, I think in April or so. For now, it's just in America. And one of the main reasons that I was keen on streaming this is because the format is different, it's new, it's interesting. The organizers have put in a lot of effort to sort of bring this together. But now after the trade of queens, maybe black should not trade queens because the white king is exposed. No, but he's okay. He goes king f7. What a nice decision, because he's ready that after queen takes queen, pawn takes, he will have... Oh, they are ready to repeat. He has a passer. If the queen takes queen, the d pawn will be a passed pawn. And a draw is agreed. Nice. With this, the players have drawn their first game, and now Ray Robson will have the white pieces. Let's go back to the studio.
Ray, oh, what a start to day two.
That was a fantastic start, and I think we can have a look, think about the strategies there and who actually got the better strategy. We see here that white was, I think, pushing a little bit, but Ray Robson's strategy was just to hold the position, get the draw with the black pieces. And you can see here that this white pawn was very strong, but black had it all under control, I guess.
Yeah, black was very solid. I kind of call this approach the Gandalf approach, thou shalt not pass. And there's another critical moment where Jose decides to just open his king, get it into the frame.
I like how they have the
sufficient. And
highlights instantly.
Taking that decision with just 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I think he regretted it quite soon after that, because he went for the queen exchange and then he repeated the position. I expect they're kind of happy with a draw there, both players. This is where we see the draw actually occur. And if you look at the black king and the white queen, they kind of do a little dance, a little tango together. They sort of the white queen tango, back tango, a little dance around the chessboard. Okay, enough dancing, we'll have a draw. So yeah, a very solid start, and we obviously have the next game to come, and it's coming very, very quickly, Ivanka. Look at the countdown.
It is, and now Ray will be the one with the white pieces. Ray is such a well-prepared opponent. I mean, he even has a nickname in the US circles of baby-faced assassin.
I like that. Isn't there a famous gangster called the baby-faced assassin?
I know.
Well, possibly.
I mean, Jose Martinez will have to just, I think, carry on with the same strategy that he did in the first game. Play unorthodox chess, keep his opponent guessing, and both players getting ready, getting into the correct mindset, shaking off those nerves, shaking off that adrenaline.
That's right, and here we go. It's only 14 seconds to go until this commences, the battle. Ray, slight favourite, I'd say now, with the white pieces. We've mentioned this as an advantage. You can put the pressure on the opponent. You can basically decide how the game goes, because if you...
Okay, let's go. Right now, he opens the game with a d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight to f3. Okay, let's see what Jose Martinez does. Maybe he plays d5, or does he go bishop? Oh, he plays the Bogo Indian. Knight d2, castles, and now a3. Yeah, bishop goes back, and e4 is the main line. Will he play it? Did he play e4? Yes, e4 and d5 was one of the main moves, but he's gone d6, bishop e2, knight f d7. Very positional, this system, but very interesting as well, because white has so much space while black hits in the center and plays on the dark squares. d5 perhaps not the most common idea here, I guess, because now black just hits with a5, and I already kind of like black's position, because you can go knight a6, put pressure on b4, and angle for the f5 break at the right time. It's a nice position for black. AB, okay. Takes, and the rooks are traded. Takes with the bishop. Knight goes to a6. Now, notice if you push your pawn to b5 to attack the knight will settle on c5, which is a very nice square. So he goes bishop c3, and now comes the move c5. c5, he takes en passant, okay. Takes, pawn takes, short castle. You can put the lipstick on the BOGO, but it's still BOGO. Nice. Nightbot is amazing. And he plays the move c5. Wow. So b5, you get a passer, and he goes back. And he says that I'm happy to give you a passed pawn because I will blockade on b6 with my knight. Then I'll put my bishop on e6, and the other knight will come to b6, d7. Like, that way, just developing. But I get the feeling that this position is very comfortable for white, and Ray Robson can often get his bishop to a5. You can also see the board if we can here. Yeah, there's a board here to watch what is happening. Bishop d3. Plays his rook to e1. Okay. And look at how the knight is maneuvered. Knight goes from f8 maybe to e6 to d4. That's his idea. Wow. Very cool. I like how Jose Martinez is just playing this position. It's nothing that I would have ever thought of, to play c5, give a passed pawn, then use this knight to bring it to e6, but also on the time he has some lead. Oh, and he takes here. Now actually Ray Robson can take with the pawn, so that his d4 square is no longer weak. No, but he takes with the rook. Now the knight jumps to e6. Now the knight wants to come to d4. And goes knight d7, rook e1. The knight jumps into d4. Brilliant. Black has a very powerful knight here. The knight comes into e3. Can we go f5 here? Maybe, but f5, it's just a free pawn. Maybe queen g5. He goes knight to f6, attacking the e4 pawn. Now maybe knight d5. First f3. So white being very solid here. I like how Ray Robson is very patient and is not rushing it. 129 is Ray Robson's heart rate. So he's come down. Last game he went up all the way to 150, and Jose Martinez is 113. But I love how black is maneuvering his knights on the dark squares. If you look at both the knights, they are so well placed in the center. With time running down to 45 seconds. And now Ray Robson plays g3. He kicks the knight comes back to e6. And what did he play? bg2. Yeah, very solid. At the right time, if you can play f4, then you will have something rolling for yourself. But f4 is just too loose. Also, he's not playing knight d5. He's keeping his knight on e3. White is trying his best to put pressure, but already black looks quite comfortable. But how does black even continue? Queen a8. Oh, he's planning to enter with queen a2. And what did he do? Oh, he put his knight on d5. And the queen jumps in to a2. Wow. Wow, this is getting very exciting. Queen d3. And now rook a8. Maybe just get the rook to the a file. Or should we take the knight on d5? It's not a bad idea, but after ed5, the knight on e6 needs to find a square. Martinez has 19 seconds left. He goes rook a8. Plays rook a8, h4, played by Ray Robson. He wants to go h5, h6 perhaps. Rook a3. Ooh, black's position getting even better now. Everything will be decided in this last 40 seconds. It can go either way. Will Jose Martinez manage to beat Ray Robson and advance to the next round? He plays queen d2. Or will it be the other way around? If it's a draw, we'll go into an Armageddon. I don't think this game will end in a draw. Takes the pawn. It was a free pawn. Maybe Ray Robson has just blundered that pawn. Bishop takes d4. You can take with the queen. Trade the queens. Why not? Why not? It's a healthy extra pawn. Queen f2. But now just take on d5 as well. Goes rook a2. h6 played, both down to 6 seconds. Look at how the lights are changing here. It's quite difficult for these players to focus. It goes queen takes queen, king takes, and now the knight jumps into d4. Pawn takes, pawn takes. Now the b6 pawn is also going to fall very shortly. Check. King f1. Oh, bishop check. Now the bishop on g2 is hanging. Take it, you have 5 seconds. Takes it. Rook takes c5. Will the b pawn be important? He goes rook b2. Good move. Black is winning. Black is winning completely here. Bishop d3. He's also setting up a mating net. b7. King h7. Knight to c3. And knight comes to e6. He loses this important pawn, but he's going to win the crucial b7 pawn. Rook takes b7, and now he's totally winning this. Knight e4. And with everything controlled, the h5 pawn is going to fall. And we're going to see that this game is over. Oh, rook takes e3. What was that? Because if king takes, there was knight d5 check. So okay, now Ray Robson can just resign with a clear conscience here, because black is completely winning. Also, yes, 12 seconds. But he's playing on. He's hoping for some miracle to happen, which would generally not happen in such games. G4. Yeah, it's worth resigning now. And this would be a small upset here because Ray Robson is the higher rated player. 94, and he's going to make a queen. He loses the rook, but he's up a queen, and now. Oh, he touches the king. Queen takes check and resigns. Jose Martinez beats Ray Robson and moves to the next round. It's a big result. Let's go back to the studio with Simon Williams and Jovanka.
And there we can see the final score, 1.5 to half. And Jose Martinez, he is known as a blitz phenomenon, and he showed us how, he played that middle game in a very quirky way, but then his pieces just powered through.
I think it was just kind of, you can see the natural talent there because he didn't really rely on what a lot of top players do, the opening stage of the game. He actually concentrated on his skills later on in the game, and he kind of went into turbo gear there, didn't he? Like switch to switch on. Let's have a look at some of the highlights here. We had this pawn structure, and the black bishop here came out. And this was a very clever idea, wasn't it, to try and exchange off some of White's dodgy pieces there.
It was a very sophisticated idea, very classy stuff. And here we can see when things start to turn in Black's favor, the rook is activated, Jose grabs a pawn, and Ray is in big trouble.
That's right, and it was, very, very exciting finish there. Even when that pawn went, Ray fought on a lot, and we can see the time situation here was kind of key to the end of the game. The time, 2 seconds here. I got a little bit overexcited here, didn't I? I thought, oh, the time has gone already. But that extra pawn that Jose actually won there was significant in winning the game. Would you call that an upset? Because Ray's such a tactical and brilliant player, but well, Jose is as well, isn't he?
I mean, both players are just, tactical fiends. And one of the significant things about Jose Martinez is that his blitz rating is so much higher than his classical rating.
Yeah, he's a blitz phenomenon, and he could be one of the surprise cards actually in this whole competition there. We saw him play fantastically to go through to the next round, and yeah, it was an exciting match, but it's not the only match we have today, is it? So we've got more to come.
We certainly have more to come. I can't wait for the second match that is brewing.
That's right, and just talking about that match a little bit more, it seemed like Ray just did everything right. I mean, the center, if you're trying to get better at chess, is very important. You want to control the center of the board, and you saw those pawns. They're like an army just running towards the opponent, and Jose was like, I don't care, you can run at me, you can have a go at me, you're not getting through. You're not getting through. You just come at me, and he's like, ugh, he's very cool. And then when they were running at him, he just put one of his pawns out, and that was it. So
Oh, it was very impressive maneuvering.
Well, I think we can now go to the loser and have an interview with Fiona.
I'm now joined by Ray Robson. Ray, commiserations, you just lost the first match against Jose Martinez. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about the two games?
Yeah, I think they were both tough games by both sides. The first game we played some opening theory where it's more or less a balanced position, but he was trying to put a little bit of pressure, and I had a little bit less time. So I think in the very end of the game, maybe I could have even played on, but I thought a draw in general was a good result. And then the second game was, I think I was probably better at some point, but again, it was very difficult to play, and I made a few mistakes, and he just took advantage, and basically the game just disappeared.
It's a brand new format here, brand new venue. I know there was a small malfunction with the lights, and we're sorry about that. But all in all, what was it like to be playing here in Berlin in such a fast-paced match?
Oh, it's very fun for me. It's very exciting. Yeah, it's weird that I played 2 blitz games and I already lost a match, but I wouldn't mind if more tournaments were similar formats to this. I think it's probably much more interesting also for spectators.
And well, do you have another match coming up? How do you like the double elimination format, and what are your thoughts on the next match?
If it wasn't double elimination, I'd already be out, so I guess I like it. Yeah, I'm happy I'm going to have another chance tomorrow. Hopefully I can do a little bit better and try to get a win. And yeah, I would like to win a few matches. It's a tough event. Everyone here is really good at Blitz, but I'm just hoping to do a little bit better.
Thank you so much, Ray. We wish you the best of luck. And for now, back to you guys in the studio, Jovanka and Simon.
Well, very exciting match there. And Jose, how did you find that? How did you find the match? Was it exciting?
Oh.
Was it? We saw your heart rate went up quite a lot, but were you nervous at all?
Yeah, I have some techniques to maintain my hair vibrations really good. I learned that from my psychology. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What technique did you use then?
This is some kind of a respiration. Breathe 7, 4, 6, like 7 for pause and 6.
Yeah.
And that helps you relax?
Maybe no, but made me feel comfortable before the game and after the game. But in the game, yeah. The match was really difficult. We prepared really well, I think. Yeah, we played the first game actually all theoretically.
Okay.
I didn't expect the line. He played like bishop before, but obviously it's the main line, but I forget it.
And we can see the brackets here. We can see your progression as you're going through. So obviously good to win because you're in the next round, obviously. That goes without saying. And it was a very exciting end to that game as well. But you're facing the winner of Dominguez versus Andrew Tang. And do you have a preference to who you play?
Both are really, really good players. They have different styles and maybe strengths, I think is the word. For sure, Leinier is an elite player. He plays every tournament with elite, with in St. Louis Chess Club, with Daronian, Wesley. So they have more experience, but Andrew has the blitz experience, has the skills that every blitz player, or in the blitz match, you need to define some game, because you will not win just by knowledge. You need some more than that to win a game.
And do you have a strategy for, say, this match and the next one?
I prepare every opponent in the whole list. Yeah.
You've prepared for every single opponent.
Yeah, it's not my style, but this is my first tournament I am taking seriously. So
Brilliant.
I'm not theoretician. So you can see the first game what I am doing. Yeah, I'm playing the 18 moves in a row like without thinking. The second game was also.
Well, you're clearly a very talented player because theory is not your strongest part. You rely on a lot of your talent. But congratulations.
Thank you.
That was a really good result, and we'll soon see who you're going to play. So it's going to be exciting. But yeah, it's going to be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much
Thank you to you
for joining us, and congratulations once more. Okay, you can go.
Okay.
As a technology and digital privacy company, Kaspersky, our partner, supports the secure advancement of chess in the digital space and its expansion into online tournaments. It's the perfect combination of human excellence and strong technology. You can see it's always a step ahead.
Yeah, very exciting. I mean, that match, but we've got so much to come. And of course, welcome back to the Armageddon. We're going to see the second match very, very soon. And that is going to be between these two players. We have Dominguez. We just talked about him briefly there. Very, very strong player. And Andrew Tang. Andrew Tang, a bit of the underdog, but he's so talented. He plays sometimes online. He plays matches with only 15 seconds, no increment for the whole game, which is phenomenal.
It is phenomenal, but will this online talent for speed affect his over-the-board play? We'll find out. But first, let's deep dive into Leinier Dominguez. You know, he is an elite player. He's five-time Cuban champion. He's been Blitz World Champion in 2008. He's also a member of the US national team, and he's also been a second for Fabiano Caruana. He is someone who comes well prepared to every game.
And then, of course, there is Andrew Tang, who we mentioned a second ago. And Andrew Tang was a grandmaster at the age of 19, very, very young. But he also does other things. He's a student at Princeton University, and he's a very popular chess streamer. He specializes, though, in what we call hyper bullet chess. That's not where you get a bullet and shoot your opponent, just in case you're wondering. It's where the speed of the game is just really, you can't keep your eyes on it. It's so quick. His mouse skills are phenomenal. I wonder if his skills with his hand are going to be up to the task as well. Only 55 seconds until the game starts now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a clash of styles. It's also a clash of generations. Leinier, you know, very traditional player, well thought out openings. He plays what he believes in. Andrew Tang also plays what he believes in, but at great speed and in an unconventional way. And 32 seconds left to the start of play, and there we see the players getting used to the surroundings. Interesting body language from the pair.
Well, definitely, and they're in our lovely studio again. The action doesn't stop here. It's only 15 seconds. You can see Dominguez is sort of more huddling forwards. This is the kind of pose that I use quite a lot. And it's very easy to tell how I'm doing in a game of chess just by looking at my body language. And Andrew Tang looks pretty relaxed at this moment. But the thing I'm most excited about is the speed at which Andrew Tang might play. And they are now off.
Okay, let's go, guys. Let's have a look. And off we go. Knight f3, knight f6, and we have e3. Dominguez is a more positional player than Andrew Tang, I believe, but castles is also much stronger when it comes to classical chess. But when it comes to blitz, I believe they both should be roundabout even in strength. We'll see. He goes b3. And this is a very interesting way to play because you are sort of not really pushing things in the theoretical direction. You're just playing it safe. You're just playing something new, trying to get fresh positions. But Black has played it very solidly, developed all his pieces. He's taken on d5. I think you take back with the pawn. For sure, yeah. Bishop a3 played. Interesting move. Well, I guess he'll just take it. Knight a3 and then castle. Yeah, Source, you're right. It's the Zucker-Tot opening. That is true. He takes, knight takes a3. And I think Black has just castled, rightly so. Now rook c1 looks like a very standard move here. Putting the rook on the open file. He plays knight to b5. Oof, what sort of a move is that? a6, you want to go back to c3 and you want to put your knight on a better square. Dominguez has 133 as his heart rate, while Andrew Tang is at a calm 96. So definitely some bit of pressure on Dominguez. Bringing in the heart rate always makes it very interesting for the viewers to watch. And I think this event is all about making it very interesting for all the people out there to see it, because you have the shorter format, you have the heart rates and everything. But somehow I feel like the games end a bit too soon, and you want it to kind of last a bit longer and so on. But maybe you guys have different thoughts. What do you feel? All the Indian players will play in the next edition that will happen in April. This is the first leg. Second leg will happen later. plays queen to d6. Narendra, I don't think Harshit will play. Bishop f5, nice move. I like how Dominguez is playing this. He has a very small edge here. g6. And now puts his bishop back on h3. Ray Robson has to decide how to continue. c5 looks natural, but then after d takes c5, the rook on d1 opens up. Just the kind of position that Dominguez would have liked to play against Andrew Tang. Rook e7, but look at the time, 45 seconds, while 2 minutes 20 seconds for Leinier. Can we go knight e5? Because if knight takes e5, I have bishop takes c8. Knight e5, he'll play his rook to e8. So that might not be the best. Yeah, Andrew Tang, sorry. Akshat Bharadwaj says Andrew is a bullet beast just as Nihal. Yes, he is, but on over the board, you may not have the same skills as online chess. He plays knight to e5, I think. Yep, and now rook e8, I guess, is what is going to be played. Yes, he plays his rook to e8 and Dominguez takes on d7. Will Dominguez also capture the knight on d7 and then play against... Yes, he does. The bad bishop on b7. He's fighting against that. And he's claiming that his knight on c3 is a better piece than the knight. Interesting. Knight comes to e2. I think white is definitely slightly better, and in these blitz games this can get really nasty because the knight is a dangerous piece. He goes rook d3. He wants to triple down the c file. Very interesting. How does black create play? Oh, c6. He left the pawn perhaps and then he pushed it. I don't know. He played c5, but yeah, it doesn't feel right. Takes, and now can we go b4? Because cb4 is not possible. c7 would hang, and if you play c4, my knight will sit on d4. I like b4 actually, but b4 you have to always consider a move like d4. But yeah, ed4 seems okay. Seems okay. I think b4 should be... Oh, he plays it. He plays b4. Good suggestion there. And now d4. I think you must do it. Oh, he plays c4, but now knight d4, and white is, I think, for choice here. Rook b1. The bishop is not so great, but Andrew Tang improves the position of his bishop very quickly. But where does the bishop go? Because there's no space on f5, on e6. He takes the open a file. Rook a7, doubling the rook. What's happening with my camera? I don't know. The rook goes back. The rook comes in. Queen enters now. He wants to get with his queen to e7. 20 seconds for Dominguez. 17 seconds for Andrew Tang. Actually, Andrew Tang down to 11 seconds. Oh my god. But the b5 pawn is under pressure. Can you take it? Bishop b5. Oh, then there would have been a nasty pin. I think black has played well here. Rook a7. Knight e2. Knight to c3. Oh, d4. That's an important move. And now Dominguez must be careful. Andrew Tang's position suddenly looking quite good. Queen e5. Can you take on c3? No. If you take, there is, I think, rook c7 perhaps. So place queen a3 or rook c8 maybe. So queen a3. Wow, he takes the pawn. Can you pin it? Yes, he pins it with just 1 second left. Now takes, rook takes, bishop takes. Black is a pawn up. Bishop a6. It's not going to be easy to convert with the knight there, but it's clear that black is the one pushing here. And Dominguez has to be very careful now. It's a pawn down. You don't want to trade the queens. So if you trade the queens, your chances to win reduce. I like how quickly both players are making their moves. Knight e2, d5. I think knight should come back to c3. You shouldn't let them, yeah. Bishop e6. Bishop d3. Yeah, you can put your bishop on d3. Ah, he plays. Puts his bishop on e6. Now the knight comes to e4. There are threats of knight f6 check. Have to be careful. Queen c8. He gives a check. King f8. The queen is safe. Knight e4 comes back. Threatening queen h8 check. If it's possible. Oh, the players are now going to maybe agree to a draw. Dominguez brings his knight back and they agree to a draw with 2 seconds left, and the score is 50-50 as we go into the next game. Let's go back to our studio and see what they have to say.
More nerves, but the way the game went, Dominguez there started very strongly, we thought, with a nice opening, but then Andrew Tang, he spiced things up, didn't he? And it got a lot more tactical, and he had winning chances when he won that pawn.
Yeah, definitely. And here is the opening strategy that Leinier employed. You know, it worked to perfection. Andrew was in big trouble, but then he initiated these sets of exchanges and the advantage fizzled out.
That's right, and sometimes in chess, a real skill is knowing when to exchange pieces off. And we saw another interesting moment around here where that black pawn moved forwards. And this is where the tide started to change, because Andrew managed to use those, what we called hanging pawns, to his advantage a bit later on. But like we saw, a real skill in chess, when do you exchange pieces and when do you not exchange pieces? And this is something that the top players are obviously masters at doing there. So another moment in the game, look at this is where they had to speed up, and this is where Andrew has won a pawn in this position.
Yeah, he's won a pawn, but thankfully Leinier was able to set up a blockade on the dark squares, and there was just no way that Andrew Tang could get through.
No, I mean, it may have been an extra pawn, but it was like a kind of wounded soldier there, wasn't it? It was a crippled soldier who couldn't move forwards, this black pawn, because if it ever moved forwards, it'd basically get blown up. And they repeated the position 3 times. We saw this earlier on today. When you repeat the position 3 times, then a draw is agreed. And of course, I like the gentleman handshake at the end, you know. You don't want to have a draw and then slap your opponent. That would be quite rude. It'd be like, good game, sir. You know, good game. Jolly good show, old boy.
Yeah.
And the countdown started, Ivanka.
Definitely, and this is a very critical game too. You know, whoever wins this carries on in the winner's bracket. Whoever loses drops down to the lower bracket and starts living on their last life. If it's a draw, we will see our favourite, Simon, Armageddon.
That's what it's all about.
It is, and the players are getting ready. Andrew Tang has the white pieces. I'm fully expecting him to open with the queen's pawn and test Leinier Dominguez there.
let's just remind everyone, because the first game was a draw, if a decisive result occurs in this game, which is starting in only 8 seconds, then the player who wins is through to the next round. A lot of money at stake here, and they're going to be off. What is Andrew going to play? And Yovi.
Okay, guys, let's get it cracking. We have d4, d5, bishop f4, the London system, and bishop f5. Dominguez playing it very solidly, just sort of making the moves that are symmetrical. And now we are into Slav territory. Queen c8. I think he's very well prepared here. And Dominguez has this style of play where he's very solid and he doesn't give his opponent too many chances in the openings. Castles. It's 6 played. And now bishop e2. You can see Dominguez's heart rate is 133. Andrew Tang is at 92. Whoever wins this game will take home the round and will move to the next round. a5 played. Guys, who do you think will win this one? Will it be Andrew Tang or will it be Dominguez? In the last round, we had a mini upset when Jose Martinez beat Ray Robson. It comes to e5. And White's position looks slightly preferable to me. I mean, his moves look easier. Knight e5, idea could be knight a4 next. But black is also very well developed. All his pieces are well positioned. He comes back with his bishop. A bit surprising decision. I think knight a4 makes a lot of sense now because your knight is angling at those b6 and c5 slightly weakened squares. He takes. One of the reasons why he put his bishop back on e6 is because there was a threat to take on d5, and you can notice the rook on c1 is opposite the queen on c8. And So he's played his last move. I think white has the bishop pair here. The last move here was to trade off those bishops with bishop d6, I think. And Andrew Tang has exchanged it. He has a bishop now. Rook e8. Rook to c2. Rook to c5 played. Rook goes back to a8. I think this is definitely a small edge for white. He pushes his pawn to b4. He must now play en passant. He does it. A takes b3. And now the queen must take it. Or you can take with the pawn and then play b4, b5. It's a minority attack that's happening. I like white's chances here. Takes with the queen. That's also fine. b7 under pressure. Also a4, a5. a6 could be on the cards. Not an easy position for black. It's definitely under pressure. He plays his rook back to a7, a4. There you have it. The a pawn going down the board. h5. a5. Whose attack is stronger? I like white's chances here on the queen side. Rook b1 played. I think Dominguez has to play carefully here. It's not easy to defend in such positions. f5. Oh, he's creating his play. He wants to go f4. Open up things. But how does white create now his chances? He needs to get a6 break. It's not so easy. Goes queen d3. Can we go f4? Yes, it exposes the king a bit, but yes, he does it. He plays f4. Pawn takes, queen takes with just 9 seconds for Andrew Tang and 30 seconds for Leinier Dominguez. Rook e8. Rook comes back because there was a mate on e1 threatened. So he comes back. And rook e2, rook f1. Ooh, black is taking over. Black is taking over here. Leinier Dominguez is going to be better. The d4 pawn is falling. Takes the pawn. Queen here attacks the rook. Queen e3. Oh, but now rook takes d4 is just over, right? Queen takes d4. That's also fine. So Dominguez is going to win this. That's too passive. That is too passive. You can play rook takes f2, I think. Yeah. This a1 rook hangs at the end. Check queen f4. You don't want to trade queens. Down material. Rook d1, c5. Position is resignable. This is all over. Place c4, but with very little time, the king is a bit exposed. There could be backrank problems. 1 second left. Check. King up. Oh my god, he's lost a d4 pawn all of a sudden. White might win this. White might win this. Queen e3 check. Oh, king h5. Is he winning? Is he winning? There was maybe something there. Check. Oh, are they going to end this in a draw? Check. King h6. He takes the pawn on c4. What a turn of events. totally winning there. But now we are back to maybe around even, right? Because although black has an extra pawn, the king is weak. Queen g5 threatening rook f1 check, queen e8, queen c5 check, and now maybe rook f8, queen c3 stopping any checks. Queen to b8 played. Queen f6, 5 a3. Ooh, rook f2 goes in, queen f4. Again, this looks. Oh, he gives up that pawn. And the game will end in a draw now. And he'll go into an Armageddon. Wow. Let's go back to the studio to see what the commentators have to say.
Squandered. But now we're going to see our favorite thing.
Armageddon. That's right. I mean, Dominguez is going to be kicking himself there because he was. We lost count of how many pawns up he was. I can't count that high.
3 pawns.
You know, I never learned to count very high at school. 3 pawns up, and he lost them one by one. I mean, it was around here. Just look at those pawns, Jovanka. Look, and this was a brilliant move. Really brilliant.
This was, yeah. This is just a killer blow. But if it was the clock situation, it just got the better of Dominguez. When he sensed victory, his nerves failed him.
That's right. I mean, it kind of happened in the first game as well. He's the more nervous, I think, of the 2 players, and the heart rate monitor was reflecting that as well. And you could see here that Andrew Tang, he was starting to pick up pawn. There goes 1 pawn and 1 pawn, and Dominguez moving 1 second on his clock. He had this attack, also this tricks against the king. He was using that in combination with picking up the pawns. And the last moment here, well, you can see there it goes, the last little guy that could have won the game for Dominguez. There, Jovanka. And we've seen this many times, haven't we? They repeat the position 3 times, and that means a draw is agreed. But we don't get a breather, do we, Jovanka? We don't get a breather.
The action continues, and we should remind ourselves of the rules of Armageddon. So the player with the white pieces will have 5 minutes on the clock, but needs to win in order to go through. Black will have 4 minutes on the clock, but gets draw odds. A draw is sufficient to take him to the next stage.
Yes, and I bet these players are really a bit stressed out by now after those 2 very exciting games. Look at our beautiful studio, though. I love this. It's like, again, I say, aliens have come down and landed an Armageddon sort of sign in the middle of a chess arena there, and you could just see this happen. Look, this is beautiful. I don't even want to spit. I just want to watch it. It's too nice. Oh, look at those colours.
Even better. 9 seconds at 7 seconds to the start of play. You can feel the tension in the air. And the players are ready. Handshake.
Okay, off we go. This time, the white pieces are with Andrew Tang. They are playing the same opening again. Let's see how this goes. White did get some chances last time. Black was always very solid. Dominguez was totally winning, but I think Andrew Tang also had a chance somewhere. Let me see if I can get the game here. There we have the game. Amazing. Let's have a look at the game as well. Well, in case we need it, we will have it with us to analyze the game. Knight takes on d7. Yeah, he's taken. Knight takes back. I think on the board there's some wrong notation because the queen is on c8, not on d8. So how did the queen land on c8? Bishop f3. And now knight goes to a4. Notice that the queen is on c8, not on d8. I don't know why this board is completely mistaken. But look at Dominguez's heart rate. Crazy. Let's see how this board works. Brings his knight to e2 and now knight c4. I think the board is slightly ahead. Time wise, Dominguez has 2 minutes 16 seconds. Remember, a draw is fine for him. Andrew Tang has to win. Knight goes to c4. Now should we go b3 maybe? Well, Andrew Tang is thinking for a lot of time here. And he must play quickly because there is no increment and he is in a must win. And maybe he can just go b3. What is he thinking? Because as you can see on the board, he's already made a few more moves. Yes, he's played b3, takes. And now bishop f5, hitting the queen. And he's played e4, takes bishop e4. And now if you take the bishop, I'll take with the queen. And I'll attack here and here. But I think there's something more to it. For example, bishop takes, queen takes, knight d2, queen e7, and maybe there is knight f4. No, he goes knight d6. Oh, but now bishop d6 is just better. Let's see what he plays. Dominguez down to 1 minute 26 seconds. He needs to make a move. He plays knight d6. And now bishop takes d6 has to be taken by Andrew Tang. Can he find that move? I think he can. He can just take it. He takes it. And bishop e4. Queen takes e4. Now bishop d6. You can take the pawn on c6. This is a free pawn. No, he takes with the rook. He takes with the rook. But what about just taking here? Yes, he takes it. Isn't that a free piece? No, his idea is queen, rook e6, right? So that now if queen and knight both are attacked, plays queen b4. Queen b4, rook e2, d5. He plays queen f8, takes the queen. He could have played queen g4, king f8, pawn takes rook c8, rook moves into c5. White is better. But can he win this? It's not going to be simple. Takes, rook c8, king f4, rook c7, f3. White must win. I think Dominguez is in trouble. He's losing. But if it's a draw, king at 6. Look at Dominguez's heart rate, 155. Great. What's happening? Who's winning? Who's winning? They've made so many moves. He takes on c6, rook c6, rook takes, king f7, g5. Andrew Tang's winning this. He's winning this. p4. Got the rook in. What? Queen? Check. But why are they playing so fast? Oh my god, what's happening? What's happening? What are they doing? What are they doing? Oh! What? Because there's no increment. There was no increment. What can they do? The game ends. I don't know. The game ends in a. I think. Who won? Who won? Who won the game? Because in the end, Andrew Tang had an extra second, I think. Let's go back to the commentators and hear what they have to say.
At 0. Is that what we think?
That's exactly what happened. And we saw the pieces flying, the hands all over the board. I mean,
is that even legal?
It probably wasn't legal, but it was Armageddon. It was brutal, and it is Andrew Tang who wins the match with that just gripping game. Goodness me.
Yeah, I mean, I need to come down for that myself.
Can you show the last moments?
I just watching them play at the end, and we're going to have a replay of this. One of the most exciting finishes in any game of chess I have ever seen, and that's what this format is for. This format is for the excitement, and I would suggest, at the end there, we'll come back to it, I'm sure, just keep an eye on the clock, because at one stage it looked like Andrew took off Dominguez's rook. I could look at it, look at the speed they're going. This is why he's the hyper bullet champion. Look at them, they're moving their hands, their pieces everywhere, the queen's coming off. I mean, what is happening? What is happening here? Is pieces on the... I mean, you can't...
I mean, it doesn't even look like they did some legal moves there, but... I mean, it's difficult. It really is difficult when you're playing with just seconds and you're just desperate to get the moves out. But boy, that was crazy. And the players really must be feeling the adrenaline just pumping through their veins. This is Armageddon chess.
It is Armageddon indeed, and you're not going to see a more exciting finish than that anywhere in any tournament, and that's what this format is aimed at, the excitement of chess. And Andrew the Bullet King is through to the next round, and he won himself a nice little purse from that victory as well. A nice amount of cash. Dominguez will have another chance because you do get a second chance in this competition, and shortly we'll have a look at the bracket and I think see how people are progressing. But
I found that to be a little bit
go and take a bit of time out
difficult to
we can see
play
here in this little highlight. I certainly need to relax after that. And the most exciting game we've had so far, Jovanka, in this competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's just left us speechless, that last game.
Yeah, very exciting and very, very stressful. I mean, winning with 1 second against 0, when you get to these situations in chess where you just have to move the pieces, it's really like, you know, it's the guy who's got the fastest hand. You know, you've got to press the clock, move the pieces at the same time.
Very nice production.
So it's incredible. So we'd like to thank one of our official partners here of the Armageddon Championship Series. And this is a domain registry like no other, it.com. If you have a great business idea and you want to register a domain, then do check out it.com. And yes, I mean, what can we say now then?
I mean, what an exciting day of events.
So I need to go and get myself a nice glass of whiskey after that excitement, and I hope you all enjoyed it a lot at home. We're going to be back, of course, tomorrow. And Jovanka, well, I think we better get that whiskey.
We better do that, but before that, you know, we are also going to see another exciting day of chess tomorrow, because it's going to be elimination day where we're going to see people leave the competition. So join us, same time, same place, and catch everything as well on YouTube. Goodbye.